I always remember a story about somebody who's a speaker and he's introduced and everybody says how great he is, and then he says, my father would have liked it, my mother would have believed it. So I thank you all for your kind of hospitality, and thank you, Maram, and the excellent team of the World Jewish Congress. I am a big fan of the World Jewish Congress. I think it's an illustrious organization that has done so much to promote the cause of Jewish life, Jewish institutions, combating antisemitism, and the standing of Israel in the family of nations. Actually started in Europe about 80 years ago, would I say, right? So I want to convey warm regards to our good friend, Ambassador Ron Lauder, and to the entire team of the World Jewish Congress here and there and everywhere. In fact, when I went to Bergen-Belsen with President Steinmeier, my good friend, it was our good friend Menachem Rosenzweig who was there, who was born in the camp. So I'm very honored to be here. This was a very, very important day, and tomorrow will be as important. I want to thank our excellent ambassadors, both Idit Rosenzweig-Abu and Haim Regev. Both of them exemplify the excellence of Israeli foreign service, which is working hard day in, day out all over the world to pursue our causes, and I want to thank them both. I like the fact that the embassy in Belgium is a feminine embassy with Idit and her deputy Hadassah. And I'm a big fan of promoting more and more women in various key positions. And I want to thank Haim, who I knew as the senior advisor of the foreign minister as well. So you're all making great efforts on our behalf, and thank you very much, you and your people. We are here with two members of the Knesset, very important people actually in our public life. One of them is Boaz Bismuth. Where are you, Boaz? So Boaz is from the Likud faction. He is a very famous Israeli public figure. He was a journalist until about 2.5 days ago. Last position was editor of Israel Hayom newspaper. But his claim to fame was, I think he's the only Israeli who went to Iran and reported from Iran, clandestinely as a journalist. And Merav Ben-Ari, she's from the Yesh Atid party. Merav is a groundbreaking Israeli politician in so many fields, both in Tel Aviv and thereafter in the national level. She headed a very important committee in the outgoing Knesset, and she's one of the most popular members of the Knesset in the country. So we brought with us two pillars of Israeli politics to hear and discuss and elaborate on the issues of Israel and its challenges. And I also welcome Ted Deutsch from a parallel organization, the American Jewish Congress, American Jewish Committee. But Ted was also a politician until recently, very famous member of Congress. So thank you all, and it's wonderful to see you. I want to thank the leadership of the Belgian Jewish community for your outstanding hospitality. This was a very moving event in the synagogue. It was something that touches the heart and is extremely emotional for me and for you and for the community. And I was very proud and honored to sit with the rabbis and the leaders and to support you in all of your endeavors. And we are challenged in many frontiers, but every generation, bechol dor vador, we are challenged. It's nothing new. We are challenged from within and from without. We're also challenged because Europe is being challenged. In the heart of Europe, there's a raging war, which has impacted everybody's lives around the world. It's a challenge for us. It's a challenge for our Jewish brothers and sisters in Russia and in Ukraine and elsewhere. We are challenged from within in a major Israeli political debate, which goes on so many facets of our lives. But one has to remember, and I tell it to all our friends, 72% of the Israeli body politic went to vote. I don't know many nations who have such an unprecedented record of participating and taking part, and yet we should be able to argue and deliberate and converse, just as I've said in my speech. The real challenge that we are faced with on the strategic level is the Iranian threat. And it is, as many of you have been following it for many years, it's coming to a peak in the fact that Iran is moving ahead towards nuclear capability, and the fact that Iran is killing atrociously its people, and most importantly, when it comes to Europe, Iran is taking sides in the war. And I think it's a wake-up call to the European Union in all of its forums to take action and be decisive and demand and protest and also support Israel without ifs and buts. I know that there is a lot of European politics involved, and yet I believe that the new reality calls for European leadership to be very firm on this issue, and I will raise it substantially tomorrow. So thank you all very much for your hospitality. May we go together from strength to strength. May I offer l'chaim to each and every one of you, and may we all know only good blessings and wishes. Toda rabah.